This is the Pirate Hunter, and you're probably asking yourself, why is this guy now showing us a bunch of dead lawn that's slowly turning green? Is he doing it to show us that spring is coming in where he lives in Layton, Utah? No. This was supposed to be the second part, which was supposed to be armor on the weathering, but I got thinking, I have other things here that are weathered that I was doing an injustice to some of you guys who build rockets and things like that. So what we have here is some weathering on some rockets and missiles. So as in the earlier one on the aircraft, close your eyes and count to 5 and I'll give you a great big surprise. You learn with little kids, don't do that. You have no idea what they're going to come up with for a surprise. So here we go. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and 1005. What we have here is 2 Beaumark missiles. These were used, and what we have there is 2 F-16s flying over. And these are 2 Beaumark missiles that were used for ground-to-air air defense systems that were developed in the 1950s. This is another tutorial on things that have set outside, been weathered. As you can see, the paint's coming off of them. When these were put together, they put one of these together wrong and they got the rear fin on it crooked. Oh, well, on it backwards. We can see the paint has really come off of it. How well it is faded and weathered here. Up underneath this, I said I'm doing this on my tab too, so I don't know how well we'll get this. It's a fixed focal length lens on it, so also we're in the shadow and everything else. So this is the transport trailer for it, I do believe. You can see how the weathering is on this. And this goes back, you can see how these boards are weathered with a really gray weathering on it. And this goes back to the one I also did on the Airfix Desert Outpost about weathered wood and how it looks after it's been exposed to sun and snow and sub-zero temperatures and triple-digit temperatures. This is how the wood weathers. If you can see how it's split, cracked, things like that. So if you're doing something with a diorama, especially in an area like where we live that has such temperature and weather extremes, this gives you an idea on what the wood looks like on it. See if this will help on this. So there you have an idea on that. There is the bottom of one of the engines on it. Some on the trailer. More of the weathering on it. So, there's the one next to it. That there, the thing on that there, golly, that there. On that is a trailer there for, on that side I believe is for a peacekeeper system. Transport trailer on it for the peacekeeper system with a transporter. Showing you some of the different weathering on the light color on this, how this works. It's more of the wood that is weathered. As you can see what it does with it, how it splits, cracks, turns the colors. Another F-16. We also have an F-35 that flies in and out of here all the time, because this base is going to be used for the development of it. Inside of the motor, it's more weathering on the wood. This side here. Now, so I don't want you guys to feel that I'm leaving you out if you're into intercontinental ballistic missiles, things like that. There is what was a transportable intercontinental ballistic missile called the Snark. Funny name for a missile, a Snark. So there's that. And there's a transporter there. This is the transport trailer for it. Again, this is another example. This is another example of weathering. How it really looks when you leave it, when things set outside and they don't get taken care of. I'm getting some of my shadow on this because of the way the sun keeps moving. You can see some of the different rust patterns on it, drip patterns on it, fade patterns, things like this where it's faded from it. More of the faded, this is faded camouflage on it. And I'm doing good. I'm walking, taking pictures, and my old drill instructor told me I wasn't good enough to walk and chew gum and count to 4 at the same time. Ain't that amazing? There is quite some weathering on hinges on this and around fasteners. So as I said on the first one, if you want some more detailed pictures on any of this stuff, please let me know, and I can come back and get the detailed pictures on it. Now here is quite some weathering on this. If you look at it, hopefully I'm going slow enough that you guys can see some of this on it. Get it? This is this transporter. Now this is sad. This was a transporter for Minuteman missiles. And I mean, you look at it and everything is just so covered up with this. Oh, what this is, let me explain the area we live in here. We live in the Great Salt Lake, or by the Great Salt Lake. We get a lot of storms come out of across the lake, rainstorms and this, and it comes across the salt flats where they set world speed records. Well, when it does, it picks a lot of salt up. So the stuff here gets really, really hammered with salt wash, a wash to be exact on it, because it's salt water. A lot of the rainstorms we get have a high concentration of salt in them, salt dust. Like I said, this is a transporter for the Minuteman. See, the window is down. They got things covered up in there you can't really see. So, and I'm not going to open the doors. That's a good way to get in trouble around here. On your transporter. Said this is really for weathering. If you look at this, it's really fairly decent because you can see how this stuff has really weathered. Now there's a museum down in Salt Lake, a military museum, that has armor and artillery that sets outside. So it does get weathered. Now the one I'm going to do tomorrow for the manly men that do armor, we're doing this one for the manly men, I guess, who do rockets and things like that. We already done one for the manly men that do aircraft, and women. Of course, manly women don't really sound right, but whatever. And for the womanly women, we also are doing these too. Hey, I'm old enough, I'm not quite politically correct at times. But you can see this is actual weather. This is what happens when things are left out and are not taken care of on it. That's a pine tree. Okay. That is out here. So hopefully this will help on your weathering. This is actual real time weathering on it. So hopefully this works a little better for you. Said it's not too bad. So there you are. This is episode 2 of the Pirate Hunters version of weathering tutorials. As I said earlier in it, and I said in the other one, if you want some detailed pictures of this, or close-up pictures of it, please let me know, and This place is open Tuesday through Saturday. It used to be open 7 days a week, but due to budget cuts and things like this, it is no longer open 7 days a week. So I can get up here and I can get you some pictures on this. So as always, go to ISM, International Scale Modelers. Very good website. And as the great Jerry Springer says, take care of yourself and each other. This is the Pirate Hunter. Tomorrow, we'll get the armor one done.